Good afternoon, everyone. A very, very warm welcome to all of you, and a special welcome today because these are the days which belong to most mystique nights, which is called Navratri. So I really love whenever these sharing are happening on such auspicious occasion. I feel extra energized, and I'm sure that few of you would agree with me. So, very happy Navratri to all the viewers and everybody, and Dr. Ram and Dr. Gautam, both of you too.
Thank
So,
you.
I really, with warm welcome, with core of my heart, I would love to welcome Dr. Ram Yadav and Dr. Dhiren for
Thank you.
this particular leaders talk wherein we are going to share such wonderful few of the things which everybody want to know about when we talk about learning and development. However, sometimes we ask, sometimes we don't. So probably I'll be pretty open in asking things and how the industry has changed and what is that which is happening these days. However, first and foremost, I would like to introduce Dr. Ram Yadav, who's been a stalwart, a well known name in terms of training and development. He's a person who has been working in in terms of leadership development, be it management development, be it sales excellence and service excellence, and of course, personal effectiveness. One person holding all such wonderful uh, areas in terms of training and development is not a small thing because everything needs a specialty within itself. So it has a lot of sub modules when we talk about all such topics in detail. But someone who is adding value to whole of it as a capsule is something really great, and I would love to learn from him too. He has given almost he's a veteran, more than 25 years into the same field. You can imagine what all he brings along with him. When I talk about Dr. Gautam, we call him by all our love and respect Dr. D. I really cannot go on Dr. Dhirendra Gautam. I just love to call him Dr. D. And if I talk about Dr. D, he is again a person who could taste the epitome of success in terms of money, finance, everything, and the space. He chose, he being a global CFO for multiple multinational Unilever or Pepsi or Motorola, or you talk about Supermax. However, he chose his passion over that corporate success ladder, and he said, okay, let me be the a coach wherein I can transform people from inside out. And that's what his doctorate is all about. So I would love to talk to both of them. And thank you so much once again. And probably, yes, thank you so much. And I'll be asking question, but by then, yes, Dr. Yadav, once again, good afternoon and warm welcome.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right, Dr. Yadav. As I have been into the training for quite some time, almost 18 plus years. So initially as a full-time corporate employee, and then that entrepreneurial bug bit me up, and I started my own venture and doing a lot of things in terms of different sector, and also working with Dr. Gautam. However, this one question comes into mind always because I have seen that era when training was, for many companies, it was a mere formality because it was an under the act that these many trainings have to be done by any company, these many sessions have to be done. So just to have that target to be completed, trainings used to be organized sometime by sometime by internal trainers or sometime by getting an outdoor person. However, those were the days when we were talking about, you have given me a module, I go there, I deliver. It is up to the people. They're taking, they're not taking, totally different. Then the scene changed. I should say last 5 years, scene changed. However, pandemic made a altogether a topsy-turvy change into yeah, the total inside out. And then I see that training, I feel happy about it. I know COVID has brought a lot of pain to all of us, but in case if I talk about learning and development, I feel a little happy in terms of This shift from training to learning, shift from classroom to multimodals, shift from uh, based on trainer to the experience based on, initially it was me who was the commander. Okay, these are the days you have to complete this module, and then I will give an assessment sheet and you fill in. But now it is, after the training, what is the business impact, directly or indirectly, I'm able to catch there. So these are few of the things, and I know that you can give a lot of light on what I'm talking, and would love to know your view on it, that how is that you see this change into training and development field, Dr. Yadav.
Thank you so much, Bharti. Thank you so much, Dr. T, for inviting me, for giving me this opportunity to be here with you on this talk show, uh, and especially in these auspicious times of the year.
Yeah.
Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
As you said, Bharti, you have seen the days and then and now. I remember when I started my career somewhere around 22 years back, I was into sales with HLL. At that time, we used to call it HLL. And then working with ICICI Bank, selling FMCG and financial products. Then I transitioned to the noble profession of learning and development. So that point of time when it used to be a mandate of the authority or of the law or just as a compliance training, as you said, to come to this period of post corona. So this is the topic where I have seen, personally gone through, personally experienced that kind of sea change. And one thing, the motherhood statement I would like to give because of this changing, I'm saying rather the pandemic times or the corona times have pulled the future closer, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise these kind of changes were expected to happen somewhere between 2025 or 2030, right?
Absolutely.
The
Right.
way it was moving on, but because of the as they say that need is the mother of the invention. So need of the hour was to adopt all those new technologies and move on because of corona times, and we actually have pulled our future to our present. So that's great. One way we are ready for the things which were supposed to come few years, couple of years later.
Right.
So there are various things that we would be talking in this talk show. The transitions happening from a kind of one set to the other set, and then we all would be, collaborating in adding value to the discussion. Uh, what do you say, Dr. D? Would that be great? Talking about
Yes,
my
yes,
work?
yes, yes. You can continue with your thoughts, and then of course, Bharti will give us an opportunity for me to also share some views on that. Yeah. So you continue, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking when I was thinking about this talk show, that what has changed in last maybe 2 decades or maybe 15 years, but I have personally experienced.
Right.
So I could not think of one or two things. I I was noting and noting and noting, and there were not one, two, three, four. There are 11 things that we'll talk about today.
Many things. Yeah.
Yeah. The first thing that we are going to talk is a shift from training to learning.
Yeah.
Training is more of a thing which is given, which is an instruction given to the training by a trainer, by an instructor. So it's provided to someone.
Yeah.
Whereas learning is a process of absorbing that information
Mm.
and processing that information, and then reflecting that how I can make use of that information for my betterment in my personal life, in my professional life.
Right.
So it's pretty much like sales. Like
Yeah.
there is a transaction, we call it sales, but at the same time it is a purchase as well,
Right.
right? For seller,
Yeah.
it is a sale where seller is selling to someone. But at the same time, for the other party, it is a buying. Right? Similar is the case with the training and the learning. So when we see the trainer is giving the training, the learner is getting the learning.
Right.
So making that shift is very, very important because again I will take the sales example because initial sometimes I spend in sales. I trained a lot of sales people also.
Yeah.
People love to buy, but they don't like to be sold to.
Very true.
Similarly, people love to learn, but they don't want someone coming from somewhere and imposing his or her thought process on them and then expecting that you will follow that. Right?
Yes.
So, for us as a fraternity who is dealing with coaching, training, learning and development, so this is a paradigm shift. So, instead of what we have and we are coming to train you, it is better to change the gear and see what the other person want to learn and accordingly move on. So, this is one of the very fundamental shift,
Right.
right, Bharti?
Yes.
Absolutely, Dr. Yadav, absolutely. And I think now I will ask Dr. Gautam what is that he want to say about it, because similarly, I mean, what you're saying, this paradigm shift, and that paradigm shift has brought a lot of practical values into it. The training is not that I'm trainable or I'm an animal and you just train me. Those days have gone. You really cannot give me just commands and I just follow. So this shift, how is that impacting the learning and the people, Dr. D?
Great, Bharti. And I think what Dr. Ram was sharing, uh, this mere first shift from training to learning, I think will consume our time of discussion, and you have to have another 10 session for completing what are the 10 things he is going to share.
Correct.
But we will focus on this first, which is very important,
Yeah.
and I think it is the most important. And Ram was explaining very well. Uh, I call it, say, either from people perspective or from the organization perspective. Earlier, organization used to feel that they have some responsibility or obligation or necessity. All these three, combination of these three. Like, company like where Ram has been started, HLL, I have been working in the parent company Unilever. So those are the companies at that big level. It is part and parcel of your performance development plan, and you get into the training as per your gaps are identified and all those things. But those are very big company and very specialized company, and everybody cannot be up to that level. Now there are many company up to that level, but those days there are few. There, what used to happen, ki people used to train people to make them capable to being productive for the organization. Now it is the learning part where you have to ensure that you are empowering your people to learn enough to retain them in the organization. See, it is a totally paradigm shift. Earlier, you are making them capable for being productive in the organization to deliver the result. Now, if we have to retain the good talent, you have to retain the peak performers, you have to train them, coach them, mentor them, make them capable so that they can feel satisfied, they can feel their value is getting added in their personal life and profession, which is transforming them, helping them to grow to the next leadership level role, and this organization is taking care of them. And once this is realized, you are going to hold those people, especially the better performer, the peak performer in the organization, because you are making them realize that in this organization they are learning something, they are having the opportunity to learn, transform, and grow themselves. And once they feel this, they have the opportunity to learn, transform, and grow, of course they are going to grow the organization they are working. So this bigger shift is there. When we will go slightly back to this, I will take one more point and then we can probably continue on this one only. So, see, earlier there was a very different gaps were there. Like, 20 years back, like, having even a good English communication was also a challenge for many of the people. Having the presentation skills is also the challenge for many people. Having influential skill is also the challenge of many people. People are qualified, but these soft skills were missing somewhere. Nowadays, this starts in ninth class in public school. All the public school having better communication system, they start teaching their student at the ninth class and eighth class how to do the presentation, how to prepare the project report, how to submit those project report. And the peoples are becoming very much influential. They know how to influence themselves and their organization, their position, and their profile. So these kind of things, when you go from a training perspective, I need to design something on the name of the training, then you have to think this is not going to work just way. You can bring anything or anyone, and you can create an annual plan, and you can chipkaw all the training to whoever it is want. No, you cannot do that. People will not feel happy. You have to ensure that what value it is going to create to the people's life. Whether these training programs are or learning or development programs are adding value to the life of the people, to the life of the employees, to the life of the business owners or business leaders, or they are transforming and resolving some of the challenge in their life and career or business. So, if these two things are materialized, then it is very important, and that is the real reason of transforming. One of the reason of transforming from just training to a learning system. The third thing I would like to say, and then I will probably we can talk longer, but I will conclude on there. So I will give an opportunity to Rams to add some value. Another thing is like that, like I was sharing in one of the another session. As per research conducted by our India Coaching Federation, for the Fortune 500 companies, the average age of leaders are 52 years. The business leader, the CXO, the functional head, and department heads, they are 50 plus. Whereas the average age of the workforce, majority of the workforce in this Fortune 500 company in India is 32 years. So they are 2 decade older. The leaders are 2 decade older than the majority of your workforce. Your understanding of learning and development and training and the requirement of the learning and development and training for these millennials are totally different. And that is the one reason, that is the one reason the concept of transformation in just having a mechanical training and going to a more of a people oriented coaching process, which we call coaching, because coaching is all about people transformation. Training is more about skill development and competency building. So the method of how to transform the individual first, and once individual is transformed, he or she will be able to transform the career or the business they are managing. Automatically it will happen, because the fundamental skill gaps are not there now. I think one more point which is coming in my mind, which is very important to share. These millennials, the Maslow's need hierarchy theory, the first two needs, the fundamental and security, is no more relevant for these millennials. It used to be relevant for us when we started 20 years back. And thereby, just mere providing any kind of training was used to work as a lollipop. कि चलो ठीक है, we got some kind of training. It was an excitement. It was a some kind of motivation. But no, current workforce, these two basic fundamental level of needs is no more relevant. They have their self-actualization, integration, belongingness, and self-esteem to be provided in the organization. And then only they are going to remain in your organization. And that can only be possible when you understand the human being inside the person, inside the employee. That employee can be your lower level manager, middle level manager, or a senior level manager. And hence, the overall training or coaching requirement has a huge change, and still it is continuing in or transforming from training to learning. What Ram has identified, you have to first learn the individual first, ensure that what kind of personality that person is carrying, and accordingly you can suggest the coaching need which can first transform the human being, and then they are able to automatically transform their career and the business role whatever they are assigned to them as a business leader or as a department head or a function head or a CXO or a CEO of the organization. So I think I would like to stop here and give the opportunity to Ram to add some value. And Bharti, you have another question, then you can ask
So
him.
I got something new. Now I have something new to ask.
Yeah.
Whenever
Uh,
you share your knowledge, I pick up something and then I feel like some light on that. So I got 2 points here, which
yeah.
initially even Dr. Ram was conveying the same, and Dr. Gautam, you also doing the same. Now, what I understood with both of you, from both of you, that whenever this mentoring coaching training program is designed today's millennials, if it has been designed by a company, the expectation are two. From the company level, it is whichever department you belong to. Even if you are in automation, I'm providing training and coaching from automation, how you're impacting my process so that the TAT is achieved, the time is achieved, and I achieve the cost also. Cost cutting is also there. So that means indirect impact on revenue, whichever department you are in, ops or HR, business partner or HRs or technical or whatever. This is what company is expecting. If I'm providing this to you, what is that you are going to bring back to the organization? At the same time, the trainee or the coach is expecting, okay, fine. You are those days were like we used to call it honeymoon period. When we used to go for training, it was a honeymoon period for us. Now it is not. Now coach is very, very particular. Now coach seeks that. Okay, you are asking me to sit for this session for 2 hours extra or 1 hour extra or give this 1 month or 2 month from my side. What is that visibility and the career growth I'm going to get out after this? So I need to be assessed. I need to be handholded. I need to be mentored on that. I want black and white results so that I reach from point A to point C or D or E. And at the same time, organization is very particular. If I'm giving you, I'm putting this much investment on you. I want this revenue or business growth or whatever. Now, if this is the requirement, this is what is happening. How is coaching as a whole, not the niche market? Now, market is very niche market. Okay, I'm performance coach, I'm this coach, I'm that coach. Now, how is it coaching as a whole can impact both the expectation from the organization and coaching? That is what I was just thinking about. It was going on in my mind. So, Dr. Yadav, please want your some input on that.
Thanks, Bharti. Uh, Thanks for giving another good direction to this discussion. Thank you so very much. So, uh, I'm taking the clue from the same point, from training to learning, right?
Right.
Learning is a process of the learner, right? And there, Dr. D has very rightly said that coaching is very well placed there. Why? Because in coaching, let's take an example of a sports coach,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
The coach, the focus of the coaching is not the coach or the mentor. The focus of the coaching is the prodigy or the coach, right? The person who is getting coaching. The
Yeah.
entire focus is that person. That's how learning is taking place, not the training, not the what coach want to do, right? And every single human being, as created by that great Almighty, is a unique.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Though we have the same two ears, two eyes, and face looks like same, but still we don't look like same. But we go beyond the looks. Even the thought processes are even more complex. So, so coaching is a kind of need of the hour if we have to go from training to learning, because there
Yeah.
we are focusing on the learner, and we are saying that what are the peculiar strengths and areas where that person can do well. So I see that coaching playing very important role with this transition happening. And that's why, Bharti, that's why, Dr. D, I am sure you would agree with me that we are talking about around 15 years back or 20 years back. Hardly we used to see coaches in the business.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how the evidence is there.
Right.
And another question of yours, how it is fulfilling the expectations of both the organization and the person who is getting coached. I always says in my conversations, Bharti, that it's like a clap, and it will happen only when both hands are used.
Right.
Wonderful.
If I
Wonderful.
if I try to clap with my one hand, I'm
Nothing is
putting
going to
all my
happen.
effort, I'm putting all my energies. I'm with my right intent. I'm doing everything what is required, but still I'm not able to,
Wonderful.
yeah, you know, get the desired outcome. The desired outcome from a clap is a voice, a thunderous voice. So for that, it has to happen from both sides. So from the organizations, by providing coaching, training, mentoring, organizations are not doing something, some favor to the employee, right? The ultimate objective is that that person is going to put that learning into the job, apply that, and getting that converted into productivity, performance, or so many things, right? And at the same time, that person, like me, like you, we don't know whether we are here tomorrow also or not, right? But the learning that is given to me, learning that is absorbed by me, that is inseparable from me.
Absolutely. Yes.
You
Yes.
cannot make me go, you unlearn everything here and then empty me and then let me go. No, I'll carry that learning along with me, that enrichment along with me. So this is one addition that a learner is making to himself, herself, that the assets which cannot be separated from you until your death. That's my
Wonderful.
goal.
Yeah. Wonderful. So this is like giving that self commitment to your own self. What is that you want? You have got the instrument. It is up to you. Once you take it up, it is all yours. It is your set. Nobody's can no thief can come in between. It is
Correct.
yours. Wonderful. And this we have learned. I mean, when I was going through with Dr. B for the similar course, this is what I have learned. You will not believe, Dr. Yadav. It was an eye opener for me. Initially, I thought I've been into training for 18 years. I've been this, that, so and so. But the day I realized my own core, which probably I was in denial, I didn't want to face that, the challenged core of my own, the internal dilemma what I had. Till the time I was not able to see that, believe me, the actual power what I have or I carry was not out 100%. So this is then this also gives a relaxation in terms of Dr. D was using talking about the communication as a language. This that I understand that is in one of the important thing, but one wonderful thing I have seen in millennials who are looking for the growth. There are some there is showcase showstoppers. I am not talking about them. I'm talking about people who are looking for the real growth, who have that fast paced track record and they are just working for that goal. They are not bothered. If you are my mentor and you are from Germany and you have all the values, I don't understand what you are talking, but I understand the essence, the kind of a knowledge you are sharing with me. Believe me, I salute you day and night because this is what the change you are bringing in me. And this is the way I can grow in my own life. So this is also again depend a lot on a person. What is that a person is looking at, a half glass full or half glass empty? That is also a individual's perception. But again I will ask Dr. D from you, because this is a market of niche. Everybody is talking about the niche, but somehow I feel niche you can just pick it up because the training and coaching industry is growing and it is going to grow 300%, and I have all the growth I can see there, so that I also get into the training because I have certain experience wisdom I want to talk about. But it doesn't work that way. I really want to know, how does it work? I mean, niche versus complete package. What is that going to really work on an individual transformation?
I think very good question, Bharti. And I would just like to add something on the last question also, and then I will explain this also because that's a very interesting point. You raised it, and Ram has explained very well with an example. And I was getting another example, so I thought of sharing that the
Sure.
person perspective versus the organization perspective. Today, you see, as per our research, the top four challenge of a manager is what? In corporate, the Fortune 500 company, when you see, the top four challenge of the managers are anxiety management, performance management, time management, and retaining the top performer. These are the 80 to 90% of the challenges is there in all organizations. You have to manage the work and performance in time. First one, in order to manage that work and performance, deliver the result, lot of anxiety, depression, sadness, many kind of things are there. So managing that is very difficult. And time management, work life balance is still relating part. If extra pressure is there, how to manage that time. And if all is stressful, then how you are going to hold the top performer, whether they are going to retain those peoples or not. Are they going to stay with this kind of environment or not? And this is happening, which is a very good sign because organizations are becoming global, very competitive, and everywhere has to deliver the result. Earlier, it was used to be a kind of that we need to make our employee to handle all these things. They should know how to manage time, how to manage the performance, how to manage the time, and again how to keep this peak performer being in your organization. That is the always organizational perspective. And what happens ki organization perspective is this, might be HR perspective is this, might be, I'm saying, but nobody is ready to listen what is the perspective of the manager who is managing this all four. He or she is also a human being. He is manager managing a team of people who is having all these 4 5 challenges. it doesn't mean that he is other than this four challenge. He is part of this four challenge. So how you can expect that person who is part of these four challenges to have the expectation to lead you out of these four challenges? He is one of them. He is not like that. You have maybe a manager or he is a senior functional head. So he is another person and he has to take the out work from the team of 100 people, 30 people, 20 people. He is part of that stress, anxiety, overperformance, underperformance, time management, and peak performance, keeping them. So and I think the second question I will answer in this one only with this example. So that person is also an individual. You know why these challenges comes? One might be there is a lot of work, but company cannot be such a like unplanned, which is giving additional work to you which you cannot achieve in 8 to 10 hours of your time. I think that cannot be agreed. Exceptionally it is okay. Somehow the individual challenges of the people in the team is causing somebody is underperformer, and that's why other has to take the responsibility to complete the work and things. It becoming stressful for the team, and because they have to overall achieve the performance for the team and function, that's why time management is becoming difficult, and that's why it is difficult for the whole manager and the team to transform and deal with this. So you have to understand the individual challenges of the team, because team is the group of the people and each and every of them has their individual personality. And here it comes the role of a coach, which you have asked it ki how we should be understanding the personality of the person, understanding how the person is operating from their own personality and taking the decision in their career, in their life, and in their job. Whether they are just doing this job for the purpose of getting employed, or they are doing this job to create their future. There is two different basic things are there. If they are just managing their work to get employed and earn some money, then they will be not happy with their performance in the role, and somehow this kind of challenges will start coming. And that's why I say that many of the organization, they have a robust evaluation system and tools. Even we work with a couple of organizations, we help them out with assessing those leadership challenges. Why some people is not able to perform up to a level, why somebody is not able to manage the work in time, why somebody is having more anxiety and depression while others are not, and how it is becoming difficult for the person who are overperformer to manage the load of all the team people, and they can be keep on motivated so that they can stay with the organization. So unless you do the assessment of all these people, del- getting out and delivering the better performance from the team will be very difficult, and these challenges will remain as a continuous challenge, and you have to do everyday firefighting in managing the work. We see couple of IT companies we work with, where they work on KPOs, BPOs, and all that. Their challenges are very hard, very tough, and the only solution is that you have to assess the individually. All the people, they have different perspective of being in the job. If you pursue your passion and if you enjoy your work, your performance will automatically improve, and you will not have any complain about the time and the life, because your passion is not different from your life. Your life, your purpose, your passion become one. And then
Absolutely.
neither you have complained about the time, nor you have complained about having the anxiety and depression, because when you pursue your passion, you have satisfaction and fulfillment whatever you do. And then money becomes a byproduct which is automatically going and coming to you as the position and profile you are handling, or the result you are delivering as an employee, or as your own profession, or as a business owner, whatever you are doing it. So transforming the job into a meaningful career, where people will able to explore the possibility of creating the passion and purpose in the job, will able to help people to take care of all these four needs.
Thank you,
Otherwise,
Dr.
people will keep on struggling it. And here, the role of a capable coach. There are millions of coaches are there, but the capability of the coach lies into here. How you are able to make the people realize, discover this, and able to transform this. And that is
Absolutely.
the only way you can create the better performer. And unless team starts performing, you will always have firefighting. Five people will be not performing, you are losing them. Five better is also losing them, and every day you are recruiting the people, training them, and it is going to happen the same. So there you have to have the root cause analysis, analyze it properly, implement the system and procedures, so that people should start discovering their passion while pursuing their career and job, whatever role they are playing it. And then only they will be able to be happy, satisfied, and fulfilled with their role, and these challenges will not be there. I think,
Thank you, Dr. D. This is something which is in detail you have explained.
yeah,
And since it is now 15:42, one small question to Dr. Yadav, and then probably we would love to close the session. Dr. Yadav, when I look at your perspective, when I look at Dr. D's holistic perspective, this whole thing is going towards one thing, the intellectual individual transformation. However, when I look from the organizational perspective, so how do you define the change between the training as a hygiene process and training as a or coaching as a requirement as one of the business critical function? So how would you like to talk about the difference between both of them then and now? You're on mute, Dr. Yadav.
Yes, Bharti, thank you so very much. Very well said. So, at one point of time, as you only rightly said, that it used to be a kind of process formality. That was hygiene. That was organization used to say that yes, I have training programs for my people. We conduct trainings. The basic question as business excellence assessors we used to ask them, do you provide training and development to your employees? Yes, we
mhm,
do. Right?
yeah, very
Yeah,
true.
yeah. And from that moment to the moment of the day, today, this has become a function from a mere hygiene, business hygiene, to a business critical function.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you.
Right?
Yes.
So there are a lot of assets, machines, and money, finances, right? Land, plant, all those factors of production as per economics. The most important is the thing that is created by God, that is man. Rest everything is created by man, right? So you invest on that, you focus on that, rest everything would be managed. So that's why. So this has this profession, this noble profession, where you are part of that, where Dr. D is part of that, has come from that just providing a formality or providing that hygiene function. We have become a business critical function, and that is the right place.
Wonderful.
And journey is not ending here, so it's
Yeah,
ever improving, ever going.
Thank you so much. So it is like abhi to party shuru hui hai.
yes. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yadav. Thank you so much, Dr. Gautam, keeping time in mind. I would love to thank both of you and all our viewers and everybody. This talk show was arranged by India Coaching Federation, wherein Dr. D is chairman for ICF and Navi Mumbai Chamber of Commerce and Industry also, and he's taking a lot of lead, lot of promotional activities in terms of bringing that up, the real place for coaching and training and letting people know what exactly it is. So we are learning a lot from him and the people like you, Dr. Yadav, and it is really my good luck, good day that I could talk to both of you. I could know you, and I really loved this 40 minutes which I could spend with both of you. Thank you so much, and may stay blessed, and may Goddess Durga bless all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
lot.
sir.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.